Hello guys, Dale O'Shea here from the DasCoin community, and what I want to talk about today is the Das33 ICO platform, or token asset offering is what they're calling it now. Now, I know there's been several videos of this already, but still I'm getting people that don't understand the full power of this platform and what it's going to bring to the table and how it's going to benefit the community. Maybe more so with people that are maybe newer to cryptocurrencies or blockchain, so they might not actually understand what an ICO is in the first place. So what I want to do today is explain it in the simplest, quickest way possible to give everybody a better understanding and the power of this and what it's going to bring to the ecosystem and how we're going to benefit. So what I'm going to do is I've got two screens, so I'm going to be looking at this screen. This is where I've got the actual presentation. So Das33. But first of all, what I want to start off with initially is, what is an ICO? Okay, because I get asked this question by some people. What is an ICO? So an ICO is an initial coin offering. That's what it stands for. And it's a process where the stake of a company is sold via an open and public crowdfunding campaign. ICO participants receive tokens in return for their investment. Okay, so it's a company that are looking to raise funds for their project. In return, they're going to give a token. Now, this token can either be a utility token, okay, so transactions fees, utility uses, a store of value, or it can also be for dividends, okay. Now, if we compare this to traditional companies, which everybody's familiar with traditional companies, you've got stocks, okay. And what traditional company would do, they would do an IPO, and that would be where they would raise funds, and in return they would give a percentage of their shares away. Well, with this, instead of shares, it is tokens. Now, let's have a look at one company who have done this extremely well, and that is Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum introduced the ecosystem model and it's changed the game. You had Bitcoin, what was first, which was traditional, just store of value currency. Ethereum came in with a new ecosystem model using smart contracts. Okay, now this is a great model, and it's allowed a lot of individual developers to develop applications on their platform. Now, also a lot of companies and projects are actually using the ERC20 token to raise funds and deploy their projects. Now, this model is very strong, and it shows by how well they have done. So as you can see on the screen here, they're the second largest cryptocurrency in the world in terms of market capitalization. And the main reason for this is because they are allowing people to build applications on their platform, and they're also using their ERC20 token so for their other people can do crowdfunding on the platform. And a lot of the times when people are doing these crowdfundings, they require Ethereum, so that increases demand of Ethereum, therefore it increases the price of Ethereum. Now, if you just have a look at Ethereum at the very top there, this shows you the price increase of Ethereum from when it first launched as an ICO. So if Ethereum was an ICO at the beginning, 31 cents, and now when I got done this check, it was at over $600. So if you look at that, 193,565% growth. So if you would have got in at the beginning of Ethereum, you'd be laughing. As long as you had the vision and you held Ethereum, I know a lot of people probably would have sold, they would have got frustrated, and that's what happens. So not always do the early pioneers benefit, because a lot of them just don't have that long-term vision A lot of people got short-term thinking and they end up missing out. Now, what DasCoin are doing, they're taking it to the next level. So DasCoin believe there's a better way to an ecosystem model. Now, that better way is the next evolution, okay? And what it does, it involves a community, which is us. And DasCoin have been creating this community now since the beginning. There's been over 160,000 licenses sold in over 150 countries. So they can leverage that community, which is going to benefit us as a community as well. It's a win-win-win. The company benefits, DasCoin benefits, and the community benefits. Now, quickly, I just want to show you an example of some of the other cryptocurrencies that have launched their ICO on Ethereum's blockchain using the ERC20 token, and you can see some of their growth. At the bottom there, you've got EOS. EOS is a top 5 cryptocurrency. So if you go back there, you can see EOS number 5, and EOS is an ERC20 token. Now they are migrating, but it just shows you the power. These are just some of the ERC20 tokens, and look at some of their growth, and that would have added to the value of Ethereum, because a lot of them at the beginning would have required Ethereum. And the thing is, these companies aren't going to be spending this Ethereum straight away. They're going to be holding it. So like I said, it increases demand, but then it increases scarcity, because it pretty much taking coins out of circulation, because they're only going to be spending as they go along in the project. Now, what I want to do is give you a quick comparison. So I've made this chart because I know some people are visual. So I've made this so people, to simplify things. So one question people might ask is, why would somebody want to do their ICO on DasCoin rather than Ethereum? Okay, great question. Well, the first reason is transaction time. So Ethereum transaction time is 14 seconds, which is fast, very fast compared to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies in the market. But then you've got DasCoin, 6 seconds, okay, which is a lot faster. Now, it's not just about how fast a transaction is, because you need to be able to process a high number of transactions simultaneously. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of transactions in a backlog, and then it'll be taking a lot longer than that. So if you look at Ethereum's is only 20 transactions per second, which is a lot compared to Bitcoin, which is like 3. But when you're talking about mass adoption, 20 is not a lot. And DasCoin have got over 100,000 transactions per second. So in terms of technology, that's going to be very appealing to people that want to build applications, because they're going to be able to handle a high number of transactions through different applications and different users. Now, in comparison, Ethereum is a solo approach. So you've got a choice, really. You've got Ethereum, you've got DasCoin, for example. So you can go at it alone, the classic do-it-yourself project on a platform like Ethereum, okay, where it's you or you and your team versus the world. Now, you've got to start from zero user base, zero community. Everything starts from scratch from the very beginning. Nobody knows who you are. And then you've obviously got to build it to the full-on successful application. Or instead of that, instead of the do-it-alone approach, you can plug into a do-it-together approach, a do-it-together ecosystem, a collaborative, okay, where you can actually plug into a ready-made community, an authenticated community, okay. Now this is where the value is. A community has value. We all know that now value is going from commodities to networks. Not only a DasCoin building a network, a community, but it's an authenticated one, which brings even more value. Now, this community have a vested interest in cryptocurrencies already, so it's very valuable. Now, this community, so me and everybody else in the community, when these projects come on, we're going to be getting involved in some of these projects, okay? We're going to be participating with funds, either cycles or DasCoin, depending on how the development phase is. Early development phase is going to be cycles. Later development phase is going to be DasCoin. Either way, we're going to be exchanging one digital asset for another. They're going to be giving us tokens in return. Not only that, when you've got a vested interest in something, if you like an ICO, you're going to be telling people about it. You're going to be spreading the word. So not only do they get access to a community who are going to be giving them the required funds that they need, because that's a big problem now inside the cryptocurrency space, is actually raising the funds required. You've got the likes of Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc. all have banned crypto ads. Okay, so it's becoming harder and harder for people to get the word out. So when you get access to a community of people that already have a vested interest in crypto, that is very valuable, because it ensures that they're going to get the funds required, which is exciting. Plus, they're going to start telling other people about the projects. It's just natural. When you see something of value, you're going to tell other people. So they're going to be advocating it. And they're going to be participating in the growth of the application. And once the application is actually ready and done, chances are they're going to be a user of the application. They're going to be spreading the word. So you've got two choices, really. You either do it yourself, like I said, Ethereum, or do it together. Which one are you going to pick? You're going to start from the beginning, or you're going to start with a huge head start? You're obviously going to go with DasCoin. This is why DasCoin's platform is so valuable. It's the next step in the evolution of ecosystems, and it's going to be attracting some of the next biggest blockchain companies in the world. I've got full belief. We've already seen some of them. I'm going to mention some of them after. Some of them are mind-blowing, but this is just the beginning. As this starts to roll out, we can only imagine what's going to come to the table. It's a very exciting time. Now, application services. So not only, if, for example, on Ethereum's blockchain, not only do you have to solo approach, you have to complete your whole application or company. They're pretty much companies from the beginning, from start to finish. You've got to find your own advisors. Not only do you need advisors, you need marketing, okay, to build that community, that user base, and that public awareness. Technical services like software development, you have to actually have to develop the application. Business services, customer support, etc., etc. Now, what DasCoin are also going to do is they're going to offer all these services. Okay, DasCoin have created something called the Das Alliance, an alliance of companies, okay, that are working together to create a better economy. Now, inside of this alliance, they're going to be offering all the services required, a full end-to-end business solution. So you'd be able to create a business from scratch, just from an idea. So it's going to give entrepreneurs like a world of opportunities, and it's also going to give the community a chance to get involved with some of the most exciting projects that are coming up. So not all of them would actually need any services, because some of them will be coming in later development stage where they've actually pretty much done everything themselves. They've gone the solo approach, but now they need to a token asset offering. Okay, that's when they'll require DasCoin. The early development stages where they'll require the services, the software development, etc., that's when they'll require cycles, which is awesome. It's going to increase the demand for licenses exponentially, and it's also awesome for the community because we know that when we're giving our cycles, in return we'll get token, but when we're giving these cycles, they can't do anything else with these cycles apart from actually use it for the services. So it's guaranteed development, and we know that it's going to be used to the right things, and not going to do a runner with it with the cycles because they can't do anything else with them. Now the next thing is vetting process. Now this is key. This is more for a community advantage. At the minute on Ethereum, you get so many applications in the world. It's a bit of the wild, wild west. Bit of a gamble. Some ICOs have huge growth. Okay, some of them have gone over 100 times returns, but more have actually failed. So there'll be people that have lost more money than actually the people that have actually gained money, because in some cases, apart from checking the website, the white paper, there's not really much to go by. So it's a bit of a gamble. And this has been needed for a while now. What DasCoin are going to do, they're going to be vetting these companies that come onto the platform. It's going to be a high criteria. I know Michael's mentioned that they've already turned away people. So only the best of the best are actually going to make it, which is a big win. Because we have people doing the homework for us. Obviously, we're still going to look into them after. But the chances are, if they've allowed them on the platform, then they've got some amazing ideas. They've got a good team, and they've ticked all the boxes already. And I believe that we're KYC'd, so we have an authenticated community where everyone's KYC'd, which is banking standard, proof of address, photo ID, and I believe these companies are also going to be KYC'd. So this is awesome. Especially if you're going to be looking at participating in the next big companies, because I believe the next like Google, the next Facebook, the next Amazon, are going to be decentralized applications that are going to come through the blockchain cryptocurrency space, and I believe some of them will be on Das33, and we're going to have the opportunity to participate. If you could go back in time now and you could buy stocks in Google, Facebook, Amazon, how many stocks would you buy? You'd buy as many as possible, right? So this is the opportunity that we've got in here, and like I said, this is only the beginning. Now, these are some. So I was in London a month or so back now, a bit over a month ago, end of April, when DasCoin launched to the public exchanges, which was a huge milestone. About 10 different CEOs came on stage and done a presentation of their company or application. Some were applications, some were actually companies, not blockchain companies or anything like that, just normal companies, but they're actually going to be using the blockchain for certain aspects, and they're going to be using, they're going to tokenize, okay, they're going to tokenize their assets through the Das33 platform. So these are some of them here. You got Tailspin, Avivo, Greenstock, EdChain, Moneta Pro, Glyph, Early WMC, Nature, Brandzuka, Blockcelerate. Now some of these are amazing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the links to these websites below. So on YouTube, I'm going to put it in the description. On Facebook, I'll put it in the same post. But definitely check these out, guys. So these Das33 is launching at the end of this month, June. 5 ICOs are going to be, or token asset offerings, are going to be launching on the 30th. Now, which 5, we do not know yet. Chances are it could be some of these, could be some new ones, we don't know. All I know is that these are the ones speaking. So chances are these will be coming on to Das33 at some stage. Some of these are going to require cycles. Some are going to require DasCoin. So what I would recommend is, and what I'm doing is I'm having cycles ready, okay? Because when there's a project, whether it comes on the 30th of June or the next few months, there's going to be projects rolling out. You want to have cycles ready because there's only going to be a certain amount of cycles they actually need. Once they've got them cycles, then that's going to be it. That stage is going to be over. And it'll be rolled out in stages. So the earlier the stage, the higher the risk. The higher the risk, the more reward. And typically, the very early stages are only available to the likes of venture capitalists and people with a lot of money with a certain amount of capital. By the time it gets to the public, the reward isn't as great. You're not getting as many tokens for the same amount of money. So at the very early stages that require cycles, we're actually going to be getting a greater reward. Then the next stage is might require DasCoin, where you still get maybe a bit of a bonus, and then it might be open to DasCoin and other altcoins with less bonus. We're not too sure on the ins and outs. All I know is that cycles, the very early stages, is going to give you the greatest reward because it's the greatest risk. Okay, and then after that, later stages will be DasCoin. Now, some will be coming on the platform, like I said, already ready to go. They don't need any development, so it's going to be DasCoin straight away. Why is that good for the community? Because let's just say that one of these token asset offerings need to raise 10 million. Okay, let's say this is just an example, 10 million in DasCoin. Now, if you look at the current price of DasCoin, you can actually work out how many DasCoins that would be for 10 million. Okay, so it'd be over 100 million DasCoin they would actually need at the current price. So imagine if you have people buying that amount of DasCoin on the public exchanges, what is that going to do to the price? It's going to increase the demand massively. It's going to increase scarcity. It's going to start taking coins, like I said, out of circulation really, because the companies that have these coins, they're just going to be using them as the project goes along. So it's a win-win in all aspects. The ones that demand cycles are going to increase the demand for licenses. People all around the world are going to be wanting to buy licenses to participate in these early stage Das33 projects, and the later stage ones are going to require DasCoin, which is going to increase. It's going to put an upwards pressure on the price of DasCoin, which is exciting. And as this goes and starts to develop, I believe we're going to be attracting some of the highest caliber blockchain applications to this. This is just the beginning. So at the end of this month as well, we've got the launch of DasPay. Once they launch DasPay and Das33, that's when we separate ourselves from the majority of cryptos out there, because currently most cryptocurrencies are just the market is just saturated now with just unfilled promises. Okay, a lot of hype, a lot of talk, no action. Not many people are actually delivering. Most projects are still in development stage, little to no utility, or hardly any actually have a product or a service operational. So when DasCoin launched Das33 and DasPay, it puts it at the top in a handful of cryptocurrencies that actually have a product or utility. So for me, that's when it begins. And that's it for today, guys. Hope you got some value. I hope you can start to see now the power of Das33 and how it's going to take DasCoin and the Das ecosystem to a whole nother level. Like I said, I'm going to put the links to these companies in this post or on YouTube, it'll be in the description. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to put some links either in the comments on Facebook or in the post to some other videos of these companies, some other videos explaining Das33. And on YouTube, in the description, these links will actually take you to the group. So the links probably won't work unless you're part of the group already. So make sure you join the Facebook group first. To do that, the group is called DasCoin Cryptocurrency Perfected. You can get to the group at www.dascoincommunity.com. If you got some value, I would appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up, give us a like, drop a comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I will be doing a lot more videos like this. I will be attending the Barcelona event at the end of this month when DasPay and Das33 launch. So I'm going to be doing videos after that to update everybody and the community of what happened and what's happening next. So awesome, guys. Have a great day.